Good morning to my right. Shoveling arm, my gardening arm.
Do behold the world wherein there shines the sun, wherein there gleam the stars, wherein there lie the stones. The plants they live and grow, the beasts they feel and live, and we to spirit give a dwelling in our soul.
It's really amazing to walk into a Waldorf school on any given morning. You walk down the halls and you hear students going into speech recitation, other students are playing little pentatonic flutes, and some students are singing, and you look in the windows and they're working, creating their own books. And this continues all the way through the years, so that as they get into the adolescent years and into high school, they're doing more and more incredible things.
The values that live in a Waldorf curriculum are tolerance and respect and cooperation and sharing and forgiveness. A school offers the opportunity for children to experience society and civilization in a miniature form, whether it's in a classroom or in a school. They're experiencing how to work together with each other, how to support each other, and that is such great preparation for participating in a democratic society.
Well, when I walk through the lower school, I feel very nostalgic. I miss the carefree days of childhood when you could, just run through the garden and pull weeds and, plow. It certainly was a sort of idyllic childhood, and it really made me a more creative person.
Waldorf education offers these opportunities for a kind of approach to education that mirrors where they are developmentally.
The unique thing about a Waldorf kindergarten is the rhythm of the day and the way the day flows. And it's not a lot of instruction giving, but the children work out of imitation. Then you add in the fairy tale curriculum, you add in working with the development of the will of the child, so they're able to learn, what do I do with myself? What do I do with this energy? How can I be a help to humankind? One of the things I love about being a Waldorf teacher is that there's freedom. There's form and there's freedom. Imagination is so very important. It's a huge foundational piece for these children, and it needs to be honored, and it needs to be nurtured. Waldorf children can just take a story and drink it in like a sponge, and it becomes alive in them. That's something that they use all the way through the grades, even in the high school, that they have this rich tapestry inside of themselves.
Did they have like a whole bunch of separate cultures? They weren't just.
We want the child to be able to unfold fully as an individual, which means all the gifts and talents and capacities that a child has. And at the same time, we want the child to be very receptive to see what the needs of its peers and the society at large.
It's not just skills To take tests is not just skills. To do this or that, to fill in a bubble sheet, it's skills to converse with people. Everything is taught so intensely, things you need for your life, so we can understand things like you're always learning, there's always more to learn.
The 8th grade is in some ways the end of a journey. It's the end of a cycle of 7 years, and it's a beginning of the students' ability to really think in a different way than they have been able to prior to this time. The way they are able to begin to look at cause and effect really starts to blossom, and to me it's the cream of the years of teaching.
When you think freely, you have an enormous imagination, and that's what is going to lead you. You can imagine every situation, any situation, because you don't have boundaries. One way or another, I try to put in them the idea that they have to think independently. I want them to question, I want them to have their own opinions, and most importantly, to be brave enough to push their own opinion forward.
It's such an incredible time of life for these students. I think the high school years are this awesome point of change, and I love the creativity these students have. And they're right on the fringe of adulthood, so this combination of being an adult and being pulled back into childhood and playing with the fun and the recollections of childhood and bringing them forward.
Like as a child, I was so absolutely shy, like unbelievably shy. In Waldorf grade school, you have to, get up and you say your verse on the day of the week you were born. And I remember until 5th grade, I would have to sit at my desk, and they made me stand, and I cried, and I would cry. So it took a lot of teachers and a lot of people helping me, but really it completely changed around, and now I consider public speaking like one of my strongest abilities. They were always behind me, and they always wanted me to succeed.
In Waldorf, we're really encouraged to kind of look around to see where we are in the world, to see what's happening. Most of the people here definitely do have compassion for the world and for other people, and they want to do something with that. Waldorf encourages us to care and to make a difference. We all have a desire to do something meaningful with our lives, and it's not simply about, what job is going to make the most money, but what we can do that will actually be fulfilling, what will make a difference.
So when we have our wilderness expeditions, it's not only about going out and having an adventure and learning how to have self-responsibility and work together as a team. It's also very much about connecting them to those forces of nature, to the earth itself. The Waldorf schools everywhere have a strong connection to nature and to teaching the children about the earth itself and really helping to build a relationship to the living forces of the earth.
In 10th grade, I had the opportunity to travel to South Africa. So that was a really great experience to be there and experience the culture there, and just getting to know people who you find that you do have something in common with. So it was really great that Waldorf could give me the opportunity to have that experience.
Often at schools, it's only intellectual. Here, it's intellectual, physical, and spiritual in this symbiosis, I suppose. And it understands that all three are necessary. It's a much different education than other schools, and I begin to appreciate that I profited greatly from that intertwined curriculum.
When each student develops a stronger connection to the earth, they might become stewards of the earth themselves and be able to gain from nature some of the wisdom that might actually help them solve the problems that we're facing in our modern times. And Waldorf schools seek to help each student really become actualized so that they might stand as truly free human beings able to go out into the world to meet their destiny.
this understanding of what the sort of simple, basic, nurturing needs are for a human being. Appropriate rest, rhythms in our life that help nourish and replenish us. The celebration of festivals and seasonal events that allows us in a very natural way over the years as we get older and wiser to connect with nature, to connect with other people in community celebrations. The Waldorf curriculum honors the development of the imagination of the child and holds that as a value that later then leads to young people who graduate from high school and then graduate from college, always able to think of an idea or a creative solution. They can start seeing solutions and have this foundational bed of positivity and hope. That, I think, also contributes to our graduates having this feeling of, I'm ready to join the world, I'm ready, I love to work, I love to learn, and I'm going to go out and continue to do that to make our world a better place.